welcome to this epic disaster. This is Cheri.
Hello.
Hello. How are you today?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
I have no idea.
You don't know yet?
No.
Okay, well, we'll find
I
out.
don't test that stuff out.
So how is everybody else doing today? I hope you're having a good one. I know you can't answer me live, and that's too bad because I would love to hear all your answers. However, we're about to be a little bit better because we are going to drink a beer.
This, I don't think I've ever seen this beer before, and I don't think I know anything about this brewing company, even though they're local.
I don't either.
I don't think we've ever had anything by them on our show.
So
different.
I can tell you the brewing company. It's Dry County Brew Company out of Kennesaw, Georgia.
Now, do we know is Kennesaw in a dry county?
I don't know if it is now. I don't think it is.
I wouldn't think so.
But it might have used to been. Yeah. So this is a Kennesaw Bourbon Ale. It's a bourbon barrel ale, which sounds pretty self-explanatory. But there's this little blurb on the back that I would like Rick to read, which I can't because apparently my eyes have surpassed his.
I started pouring my brew, so hold on.
I see that.
It's not as dark as I thought it was going to be.
It looks a little silty.
Yeah. Well, the reason I was going to say...
Now we have silt everywhere.
The reason I think you couldn't read is because the light. Well, you got the light closer to you. Anyway, all right. Kennesaw Bourbon Ale is brewed in the celebration of Dry County. So that's the name of the county. Dry County being Georgia's first same-site brewery distillery. Is that right? So Dry County is the name of the brewery distillery.
Okay.
And they're the first...
in a dry
same
county.
site brewery / distillery.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Georgia.
Okay. Got you.
Starting life as a strong amber ale, which it kind of looks like, KBA is then aged on American oak, previously used in the production of our Dry County spirits. See, that's the benefit of having a distillery and a brewery is you can do that.
You can do that kind of stuff.
Otherwise, you have to order them from other people.
Or you'd have to pay other people.
Yeah. This innovative crossover process lends delicious vanilla and oak characters to the beer. Ooh,
really?
That's some of my favorite. While still maintaining a pleasantly smooth malt base.
It smells good.
It does smell good.
Now, this is not okay. What was I going to say? This is not like a bourbon barrel-aged porter or bourbon barrel-aged stout. This is just an ale. And I say just an ale. Some of my favorites are ales, but I will tell you that, man, this thing, it's a little bit dark.
But not as dark as I thought it was going to be.
No,
and I guess because most of the bourbon barrels we have are kind of porters and stuff,
This smells so good.
It does.
I just want to huff
really
it.
Good, yeah.
Can I just huff it? Or do
You can do what you want.
Okay, I'm just going to sniff it through my nose.
All right,
I'm going to snort it.
While you're sniffing it, I'm going to taste mine.
Okay, you go ahead and taste yours. Tell me your first reaction. Oh, man, that's good. He says.
Good stuff.
Let me tell you mine.
Yeah.
I could drink the shit out of that.
Yeah, that's just good stuff. That's I don't want to give it away. It could go bad before the end of the podcast.
Because I do have a note of sweetness in there, and we all
that's
know.
usually what happens on these kind of beers.
Yeah.
By the time at the end, they're just too sweet for us.
Yes, and it's about. And I'm pointing at the bottom fourth of the glass. It's about there where it just becomes a little too sweet.
I agree.
But yeah, I'm going to drink it. So we'll move on.
Well, we're going to drink it. So this has been an interesting month. We had we did do an evil Zoom.
Yeah.
At the first of the month, which was fun. And we haven't done a Zoom in a while, and we got to see some of our people who hang out with us, and that's great. And I wish more people would hang out with us.
I do too.
Well, I like seeing the same faces, but I want to see new faces too.
I'm so lonely.
Do you think we ever have any new people listening to us, or do you think it's just the old people?
I'll tell you what, if we do have new people listening to us, they either stop after one episode.
They're embarrassed. They're like, that
B,
sucks.
They don't respond to us because they don't want us to know
that
they actually like it.
They're anonymous. So here's the thing, and this probably doesn't happen with us, but I always think about this. So, there's like a gazillion podcasts in the world, and they're all just like ours. They're available to anyone who wants to listen. And we don't know who's going to listen to ours. We have no way of knowing.
Nope.
We just put it out there. It's on iTunes. It's on Google. It's everywhere in the whole world. And anybody in the whole world can download it. And sometimes they do, because we get numbers where like Saudi Arabia or Denmark or something like that.
Bulgaria.
Yeah. I'm just like, wow, okay. I feel bad that's what they're we're their impression of America.
Oh shit.
They're like, really? Wow.
That's not good.
But I always think, what if, like, you don't know, it's like Brad Pitt is just one night,
like a huge fan.
He's got some extra time off. He's just sitting around. He's bored, doesn't have anything to do. He's like, let's see if I can find a new podcast. And he's like thumbing through, and he's like, wow, this one looks weird. This epic disaster. All right, well, I think I'll give. And then and then what if he becomes a fan? What if he really likes it?
And what if he was one of those fans that we know just like subscribed and all of a sudden downloads 300, 400 episodes?
Yeah, it could be. And what if he orders stickers and he puts them on his car and he drives around in Malibu, wherever, Hollywood, wherever he lives?
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, my nose. I'm allergies. I got stuffies.
Oh, okay. You're allergic to Brad Pitt?
No, I'm allergic to the outdoors.
Oh, I see.
Pollen.
And, well, I'm sorry I mentioned outdoors, but it could happen. You could put it on there, and then we don't even know.
Yeah.
And then we're Zooming. We're having a Zoom, and then all of a sudden,
he pops in.
Brad Pitt's face pops up, and he's like, "Yeah, I've been listening to you guys for a long time." And we're like, "Holy crap!"
And then we'd just be like, "So let us ask you some questions."
Yeah, that's why he doesn't come. He's like, "I don't want my career ruined, so I'm not gonna join. I'm not gonna show my face there."
Like, we're suddenly paying to record this Zoom.
But I do think about that. I mean, you never know when anything you put out on the internet, everybody in the world has access to it. So you don't know who your fans are.
You have no idea.
We don't know who has listened. Even they may not be fans. Brad may have listened one time and went, "That's the worst podcast I've ever heard in my life."
Well, he may have said that after the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, probably. That's what most people do.
I think.
All right.
I think so.
Let's play a game of Would You Rather. We do that frequently. And in fact, most of the time, we do that on the show.
Actually.
Game of Would You Rather, which is basically you get a little question. Would you rather question?
After we play this little game, I have another special edition question for you.
Okay.
All right.
I'm ready to handle it.
Let's go.
Blue.
You sure?
No.
It's yellow.
All right. Blue is wrong. Yellow is random. This is just a random question.
Random out of the
Random
air.
would you question.
Right.
Would you question.
I
would you rather be the last naked person in an accelerated high school class?
Huh?
I'm going to read this again.
Please do.
I had it a little too far away. Would you rather be the last ranked person in an accelerated high school class?
Yeah, that's a whole different thing.
I like naked better.
Me too.
Or the first ranked person in a de-accelerated high school class. So you're the last ranked person in a smart class or the first ranked in a dumb class.
Did you just use the word dumb?
Yeah.
That's not PC anymore.
Nothing's PC anymore.
So, okay, so there are gifted classes and there are...
Gifted is not PC either because
You're
it's
right,
not a
though.
gift. You can't. I know anything you say is not going to be.
It's not going to be.
You're going to
kosher.
offend someone.
Okay, so without offending anybody, I would rather be the best
In
special ed,
okay,
and which is also not PC.
I didn't say special ed. I said dumb, and special ed people aren't dumb.
No, they're not.
De-accelerated is the word they use,
Which basically means remedial.
All right.
I think.
I've been in remedial class before, because when it comes to math, I'm dumb, and I can. Since I'm dumb, I can use the word.
You can say that
about myself.
Yeah,
because
it's
I am.
true.
All
yeah.
right. So that's what you would rather be. All right, that's good. All right,
Just because I want all the praise.
Yeah.
And I just want people to look up to me.
You want to be the what's in graduation the valedictorian. Yeah, that's what you want to be.
I mean, I would go with summa cum laude.
Okay. Okay.
But that's up to you.
Right.
Here you go.
My turn. Mm-hmm. One thing I never guess purple I never do
in the whole galaxy of time.
I never guess dropping purple.
And you got a green.
That's why I don't guess it.
Okay, so green is ethics and intellect. Mm-hmm. Would you rather tell a lie to protect someone and lose your job? Or tell the truth about a friend who then loses their job as a result?
Oh, say the first one again. Tell
a lie to protect someone.
I'll do that.
But that would mean you'd lose your job.
I don't care.
Okay. So you would lie for me?
Yeah, I would lie.
You would lose the gallery if you lost?
Gallery's not my job.
It is, though.
No, it's my business. Yeah, to lose my job would be if I was working somewhere and I lost my job.
Well, you don't even know what that's like anymore.
No, and I also don't know what the lie is. So I can't, I'm just giving a basic answer because it could be, there's certain things I wouldn't. Like if you did something and you really did it and then.
Like murder.
Well, not that severe. I'm talking about if you really did something and because we have to work at the same place apparently. And then they're asking if you did it. And I would say, and I knew you did, and I said no. And then I got the blame, and I got fired. So depending on what you did, if you did something that was so stupid, I don't know that I would want to take up for you.
Like murder.
Well, that's not stupid.
Not always.
Let me put it this way. If you ever murder anyone and I know you did it,
yeah,
I would be the first to call the police.
Would you really?
Hell yeah.
Why?
Why wouldn't I?
But why would
murder?
You? What if I had a good reason?
Then it's probably not murder. It's self-defense. But I'm saying I would do that with my wife. I would do it with anybody. Anyone who committed. I would not cover up a murder. Anyone that I knew committed murder, I would report them. They're dangerous. They might kill me. If you kill other people, how do I know you wouldn't kill me?
What if they only kill you because you reported them?
Well, that's still the danger, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you got to report the people and then go on the lam.
Don't go on the lam. The lam doesn't like it.
No, you have to go on the lam. Going on the lam protects you. Anyway,
go on the lam.
So there you go.
All right. Interesting. So my question for you, I had told you I had a super special question.
Oh, okay.
It's not a would you rather question.
Oh.
It's what was the single most hated chore that you had to do as a child that you still hate to this day?
Working outside in the garden.
Working in the garden.
Yeah, hated it.
So you just don't like to get your hands dirty?
I didn't like being in the sun, don't like sweating, don't like getting my hands dirty, don't like doing that work.
You'll get your hands covered in paint, but not dirt.
No, I don't particularly like dirt, but that's okay.
Not that I consider paint
it's mostly,
dirty.
I don't care the dirt too much. It's mostly being outside in the sun. In fact, if there were indoor gardens, I might like that. I might work in an indoor garden.
You might have your own.
Yeah, especially if it's got some air conditioning.
Would you grow
Most
pot?
plants don't grow in the air conditioning, though.
No, because if you grow pot, I won't tell you why I know this, but if you grow pot, it can't be really cool in there.
Right.
It's got to be humid.
Yeah, most plants have to.
You have to have flowing air.
Which is why those used to, the helicopters would aim the thermal camera at the houses and they could see the house that was the one room that was glowing red. Don't ask me how I know this. And then they were like, all right, there's pot down there.
Pot in there. Or a sauna. They don't know. They got to check it out, though.
They do, but I'm just saying that's, the bells go off at that point.
But you know what? In Humboldt County, California,
okay,
which is Northern California,
all right,
like Eureka area, the people, not you, but people used to put like what you might call like a hunter's thing where it goes halfway up the tree and it's like a stand.
Yeah.
Like you put almost like a tree house.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay. And they would grow pot up there.
Okay.
Because those airplanes or helicopters or whatever that would come and see the thing, they'd go down to the land and go see if they could find it, and they couldn't.
I would say get an outhouse and grow pot in there
because it's already going to be hot,
and they don't want to go in there.
No,
they're like, no, let's not check that out.
I'm not sure I would want to smoke that pot though.
If
it was an actually used outhouse.
It's all changed now. I mean, I'm wondering how long it'll be before nationwide that marijuana is legal.
Very soon, I think.
You think so?
And what's funny is that I think, and I'm going to get a little political here, and I'm sorry if this is too much, so tell me, or cut it out if it's too much. What I think is happening is that politicians are allowing pot to become legal, not only because they can find a way to make money off of it, but it's to appease people from taking away these other rights.
Well, that's a good possibility, but I also think that a lot of those states that are doing it are making tons of money on cash. I mean, on taxes and stuff. I mean, it's a cash crop.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're doing well with it, and other states are like, wait a minute, maybe we should be doing that too.
Yeah.
I believe if, and we'll know this year, I think, if the Democrats win the governor in Georgia, I think there'll be a good chance that pot, before the end of that governor's term, will be legalized in Georgia. It'll be the first state to do so. And I've read, I think it was Alabama. I read that Alabama might be the first state to do so.
In the South, you mean?
know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I honestly, in my opinion, if you legalize pot, you're going to cut down on crime.
Yeah.
But okay, anyways, you want to know what my worst chore was?
Well, what is your worst chore?
My least favorite chore on the planet to this day, even as a child, was scrubbing the bathtub.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's one
Which
of
is
them.
weird because
I can rate them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
Yeah.
if you'd like me to.
Well, that's kind of weird because bathtub, nowadays anyway, there's things you could just spray on it, wait a few seconds, and then just wipe it off. You don't even have to scrub it.
Yeah, but that just makes me feel like I didn't actually clean.
You're not supposed to clean. That's the whole reason why you have those.
Okay.
You don't need to.
All right.
And they got chemicals, so they kill all the bacteria. There's no bacteria that survives.
Kill it.
Yeah.
But I still don't like the scum. So you still have to wipe that scum off.
Yeah.
You know the scum?
Speaking of politics.
Yeah. You have to wipe the scum off.
I don't even have a bathtub. You know that? When we redid our house, we took out the bathtub.
There's one upstairs.
Yeah, but we don't use that. That's a guest bathtub.
Oh, okay. So
We
you're
don't
not
have 'em.
allowed. It belongs to you, but you're not allowed
Well,
to
I
use
wouldn't
it.
fit in that anyway. It's so small. I tried one time. It's just too small. Like we got a hot tub outside, which that fits me. But yeah, we knew when we replaced it. But I don't. Do people use bathtubs anymore?
If I had one that was clean, I would. But that would mean I would have to clean it.
So I lived when I was in Chattanooga. I lived in a house that had one of those big jacuzzi bathtubs.
Yeah.
And I was in a relationship at the time with a Pisces, and that's a water sign.
Yes, it is.
And she would not get out of that thing unless she was forced out of it.
And the two of you wouldn't fit in together?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, fun.
I mean, I'm an earth sign, so together we make mud. Thank you, Rodney.
I love it.
So
okay, those jacuzzi bathtubs that you're talking about?
Right, yeah.
I stayed in a skanky hotel that used to be a really nice place.
Yeah.
I had gone down there for training one time, and then I had gone down there for training. It was lovely. And then I'd gone down there for training another time, and I'm not going to say what hotel it was because it's irrelevant. But the second time I went down there for training, when they brought up my room service tray, I ate my sandwich first, and I had a side salad, and my salad had roaches in it.
Oh.
Literally crawling.
Like protein, or like it wasn't supposed to be?
No, they were alive.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not good.
And I was like, oh my God. So I squished them, and I stuck them right on top of the tray, and I stuck the tray outside my door, and I was like, this is horrible. And this is when I was going through that thing because I'd just seen bed bugs in another hotel.
Oh, was this that? It was in Atlanta, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And
I remember that you saw roaches, but I didn't know it was in your salad.
Well, not only that, the next morning, because I had slept with my sweatshirt like tied real tight around my face, like you see people in Canada.
Yeah.
And I had like socks over my hands,
no.
over top of the
You were
sweatshirt.
all anti-roached out.
And I had a tank top underneath, stuck into my sweats, and then my sweatshirt over my sweats, and then I had socks up in my. I slept like a mummy, and the next day I woke up and I was like, this is the last day I'm staying here. Because it was too late that night. I was like, whatever. And the next morning I got up to take a shower. And I was showering, and it was one of those jacuzzi tubs, but it was also the shower part. And so I'm showering, and I look down, and out of the spouts came roaches.
Oh, wow. I think you were on acid.
I was not. It wasn't like... all kinds of roaches. It was
like
like
Johnny
one or
Depp
two.
in
No,
Las
no,
Vegas,
no, 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 no. It was like one or two roaches
coming everywhere.
And then I looked up, and there were roaches on the where you pull the shower curtain. I was just like, just get me the fuck out of here.
What was that MTV kind of animated thing? Joe's something about a bunch of cockroaches. Remember that years ago? Anyway, I don't know.
I do. I remember what you're talking about, but there's no way I'm going to remember the name.
Yeah. I can't remember. I do remember this was a long time ago. I was on a date. So I was dating. I went on a date with this girl, and we decided to go up to Asheville. Have you been to Asheville?
Only with you.
That's awesome. So we decided to go to Asheville, and we were going to stay in a hotel. It was kind of a nice little hotel. And it was in the winter, and it was in the fall. So we wanted a hotel that had a hot tub in the hotel, in the room.
Yeah.
And so we asked, and they were like, yeah. So we got it. We got the room. So we went up into the room. We opened it up. We went inside. It is a full hot tub, an actual hot tub, and it's right in the middle of the living room.
You know why they do that, right?
I don't care. I loved it. I mean, it was right there, and we had fun. So, that was a great date.
There's a hotel, and I'll just tell you this, and this I hope this doesn't stop thinking about it. There was a hotel in Anchorage, and I'm not going to name the name, but anybody that lives there knows what it is. Every room has a hot tub.
Yeah, this was the same way, but I didn't realize they were right in the middle of the living room.
And the reason people would rent this hotel,
okay,
was not just for enjoying the hot tub.
They had escorts? What?
Yes.
Okay.
It was you could rent it for half a night. Mm-hmm. You could rent it for however long you wanted. Yeah. And I was there one night with some friends, specifically to do what it was for.
Okay.
And I just think now I'm like, I would never go to a place like that again.
That's the only condition I would do those kind of things, because hot tub is going to basically scour you and kill any kind of bacteria or germs off of the people you are with. So I think that's the only kind of situation I would do stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we did end up in the bed too, but you know.
Well, as long as it was afterwards.
And
we don't need to know all the details.
Okay, never mind. And then again, no.
You don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hot tubs are fun. I've had some good times in hot tubs.
Me too. I read an article today. This is not a good segue, but I read an article today that I want to talk to you about.
Okay.
Are you a fan of bees?
Bees?
Bees.
As in...
Yes, bees.
I'm a king bee, baby. What do you mean a fan? There's a lot of different kind of bees, like wasps. Bees. I hate wasps.
No, wasps.
I don't like yellow jackets.
But like
honeybees. Honeybees are necessary. Everything is necessary, but I guess I'm a fan. Sure, why not?
Okay, so let's see if you would be a fan of this.
If I would be a fan, okay.
You would be
all right.
A fan of this.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on just a second. It has to open first.
Singing.
Sorry, I don't mean to sing. It's not my best.
You ever got to be in a hot tub? You know who would be? You know what bee would be good in a hot tub? Aunt Bee from Andy Griffith.
In a hot tub?
Heck yeah!
Oh, she's already wrinkled. I mean, she could stay in there forever.
Aunt Bee with her fried chicken. I don't
want chicken in a hot tub.
A chicken and Aunt Bee in a hot tub any day with me.
Fried chicken, Aunt Bee, and a hot tub.
I think Aunt Bee got her freak on a regular basis.
Oh, I'm sure.
They didn't show it, but I bet she did, because there was a couple of episodes where she dated these older guys that were like trying to make a move on her.
Yeah.
She did it. She was acting like she didn't, but she did.
She was being demure.
I think she did.
All right. So let me tell you about this couple in Nebraska.
Okay.
Specifically Omaha. I'm not going to give you any more specifics than that.
That sounds like almost like I would like to use that as like Omaha.
Omaha?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're surprised.
This man and this woman told this paper that they'd been planting bee-friendly flowers outside their home.
That's nice.
Yeah, I think so, because we need that.
We do.
They never expected the bees to actually move in.
Uh-oh.
The bees infiltrated through a hole in the mortar of the brick exterior of the home, and this couple discovered them after noticing many bees flying outside their kitchen window.
Over time.
And and found about 30 bees. 30, that's 30 bees in a second floor bedroom. One room.
Okay.
30 bees. And then if you put your ears to the wall,
this is where the problem is.
You could hear buzzing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, they said that their first thought was to call an exterminator. Mm-hmm. But they've been reading a lot about bees, and that's why they planted the trees and flowers. And they're like, well, we don't want to kill them.
The bees were like, this is our friend. Let's go move in with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that was the problem with that date I had, too.
The couple contacted. They didn't contract anything.
No, that was also the problem with the date I had. Yeah.
Oh, dear. They contacted a couple of members of the bee club. Mm-hmm. Okay. It only cost them $600.
Okay.
To remove 6,000 bees from their walls.
Yeah, I have seen that before. I've
living in their walls.
And pull down the plaster and it's just like covered.
Yeah.
After a while, you can suck the drywall and it's really sweet. There's a lot of honey that'll come out.
Okay, let's move on.
Like, Mom, why is Daddy sucking the wall?
Well, he's on shrooms, honey. It's fine. But what they did is they made a hole and they stuck a vacuum in there and they sucked all the bees out.
Okay.
They sucked all the bees into a
bee hole.
A bee. Oh God. Oh, glory.
Sucked it out of the bee hole.
Sucked all the bees out of the hole.
The honey hole.
Yes, that's a better word for it, I think. And then, so they didn't really have to tear down anything.
No.
And then what they did then was, the man said he and his wife actually tasted some of the honey.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Before they took the bees home. And
it's like fiberglass.
Yeah, a little bit. And now it's stuck in my throat.
Yeah.
But they actually took the bees back to the farm that they worked at with the honeycomb.
Yeah.
Put them up in a new place. They were perfectly fine.
Wow. I was watching a documentary the other day, and I hate to say this, but I only watched part of it, so I can't tell you everything about it. I had to stop watching it because there was inadvertent animal abuse. I couldn't handle.
Yeah, I don't do
so
that.
It wasn't like overtly real animal abuse. It's just I couldn't stand the way the people were treating other animals, and they weren't doing what they didn't think they were abusing them. So it was cattle.
Yeah.
And just they treated them too rough, and I couldn't stand watching it.
Yeah, I don't like watching
I have
that
a
either.
really soft spot for cows because I was raised with a cow. Well, I shouldn't call my mom that. But anyway,
You didn't say you were raised by a cow.
No, I was raised. We had a very, 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 very small farm, and we had a milk cow where we got our milk. And so I don't know. I just like chickens and cows. I kind of have this kinship with. Chickens are assholes, but still, I just have this. I don't know. I care about them. So, but this documentary, if I'm not mistaken, it was called Honeyville. And you can find it. It's beautiful. It's wonderfully shot. But I think it takes place in, they mentioned one time Bosnia.
Oh.
So I think it was in that area. And I don't know the exact location. But anyway, it's remote. I mean, way, way out in the middle of like the boonies. And this woman lives out there in a little tiny, almost like a cave of a house with her mother. And her mother's sick. She's mostly blind and sick, and so she's taking care of her mother. But the way she gets money is she raises bees and keeps
sells
bees.
The honey.
Yeah, and so she goes out and she has where she has the nest. It's almost like in a rock, so she has to pull this rock cap off, and then bees fly out. But most of the time she's not wearing any protection at all. She's just and she's getting in there and she's getting the honeycomb out, and bees are flying around. She has no protection on,
and they're not stinging her?
Nope, and then a lot of times they're all over her hands and everything. But I've seen people do that, and so you could be afraid of bees, but people who aren't, they don't get stung. But there was a couple times when she was wearing a net on her face, but she wasn't wearing anything else. I mean, any kind of protection. And the bees just left her alone. And she would take it. She would get the honey, and then she would go to town. She would sell it. That's how she got her money.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Name this movie. Did you know bees and dogs can smell fear?
Really? I don't know.
Jerry Maguire. Come on. Little kid.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, the little guy. Yeah, that's been a long time since I saw that.
Speaking of bees, which are awesome creatures,
Aunt Bee.
I have a few questions for you.
Okay.
It's a quiz of sorts, if you will.
A bee quiz?
A bee quiz.
I don't think
you'll probably get a bee.
Thank you. I was going to use that joke, but I'm glad you took it.
All right. How many eyes do bees have?
Oh, thousands.
No.
Hundreds.
No.
2.
No.
I don't know.
5.
Oh, okay.
So that's wrong.
Who is the scientist that count bees' eyes? They're like, what are you doing today?
Entomologists?
What are you doing today, Joe? Oh, I got to count eyes on a bee.
Is it entomology?
That's the study of insects, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So entomologists do that. That's what they do.
Etymology is the study of words, right?
Yeah, okay. All right, so 5 eyes.
5? I don't know.
It's a random number.
Yeah, that's weird.
All right. How many legs do bees have?
A 6.
Very good.
Well, they're an insect.
All right. Oops. I messed up. I made the first one good. Okay, the first one was bad. Second one's good. All right. How fast can bees fly?
Oh, pretty darn fast. I'm going to go with 45.
45 what?
Miles per hour.
No, you'd be wrong.
Okay.
It's 20 miles per hour.
Oh, wow. They're much slower than I thought.
Exactly. How many eggs? Hold on.
Bee eggs.
Yes. What's the number of eggs laid by a queen in a day? Let's say in a day.
I don't know. I'll say 1,000.
2,000.
Okay.
2,000.
Almost got it.
Almost, but didn't. Okay, so what happens to a bee when it loses its stinger?
Everybody always says it dies. I think it dies.
Specifically, honeybees.
Bites
Yes,
the big one.
yes. It
I always read that only female bees sting you. So worker bees, I didn't know this. Worker bees are all female.
Yep.
And am I already answering questions?
Nope.
And they're the ones that sting you, I guess.
And what do you call all the male bees?
I usually don't call them.
Why not?
Drones?
Yes. Very good. That's not one of your questions.
No.
Yeah.
But I got it right.
You did.
I should get credit for it.
No. All right. So how long have bees been on Earth?
A couple days.
No.
I would say since the beginning of time. I think Jesus said, "Let there be bee."
You think Jesus was the beginning of time?
He was there sitting with his dad.
Uh-huh.
His dad was making stuff, and his dad said, "Let there be bee." And Jesus said, "Dad, I didn't know you stuttered." And he was like, "No, I'm making a bee." And he was like, "Oh, sorry." Okay.
How about 30 million
That's
years?
actually an Exodus.
Yeah. We should go back and read that sometime. How many bees can an average size beehive hold?
Oh, wow. I'm going to go with 425.
Period.
I was dead on, wasn't I?
No, it's 50,000.
Oh, shoosh.
Shoosh is right.
Yeah.
Shoosh is right. You got that one wrong too.
You're
not doing very well.
I don't know my bees.
Okay, so let's try this one. How many million flowers must the foragers collect nectar from to make 1 pound of honey?
Oh, wow. I don't know. 2 million?
There you go. You got it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You said how many million? I said 2.
Okay. Yeah, 2 million.
All right.
Did I say how many million?
You did. You said how many millions do they
I'm
need?
sorry. Yeah, you're
and
right.
I said 2.
Okay.
2 million.
How many pairs of wings do bees have?
4. No, how many pairs? 2.
You're good. You got that one.
Because I had 4 pairs that had 8 wings.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the... Okay, you're not going to get this one. You might get this one.
Thanks for making me feel good.
What is the principal form of communication among honeybees?
A dance.
No.
Yeah, they do a little spinning around dance thing. Michael Jackson used to do the same dance.
Please don't ever, ever, ever do that again.
That was a great dance, wasn't it?
It's not dance. It's pheromones.
Pheromones. That was my second guess.
Sure.
How do you make a pheromone? Kick him out of bed.
Stop
hey,
it.
now, wait a minute.
Stop it.
Hey.
All right, so here's why bees are important. This is not a question. They're important because they pollinate approximately 130 agricultural crops
Yeah.
in the United States, including fruit, fiber, nut, and vegetable crops.
Only in the United States. That seems a little discriminatory.
No, that's just what we've discovered in the United States.
Oh.
How
do they know that the bee doesn't cross Canada or Mexico and then go back?
Well, they might.
Well, somebody's sitting there counting them with a little clicker.
But they're only going 20 miles per hour.
Oh, okay.
And they don't live that long.
I got it.
Okay.
All
right.
That makes total sense
now. Now, if they live on the border, then all day long, back and forth, back and forth,
visa.
back and forth.
They could go work visa. Yeah, they could go back and forth.
Work visa.
Sure.
Exactly. Bee pollination adds approximately $14 billion annually to improved crop yield and quality.
Okay, cool.
You like bees?
Yeah, I love bees. My grandfather had bees, and he had like 2 beehives, and he bought all these bees, and he swore he was going to teach me to rob the bees. You know, that's what they call it. Like when you get the honey, they would say you robbing the bees.
You're robbing the bees.
Because you kind of are. And he was going to teach me to do it. And he got somebody, a friend of his, to do it, and he never taught me. Never learned how to rob the bees.
So you were just pushed out.
I was kind of mad about that because I was really kind of looking forward to it. I was kind of
scared.
Did you ever
say, "Hey, Grandpa, how come we can't both learn how to rob the bees?"
No, I didn't say that.
You weren't a very assertive child.
No, I'm still not.
You're not a very assertive child.
So they've got a smoker. Have you ever seen those little
Yes.
smoker? They have like a little bellows on them, and they go.
Do you know what they normally put in them?
Just rags and stuff, and then they load it up, and then they light it, and then they.
Do you know what you put in them?
Belching out smoke, and then they put it in there and go.
Do you know what they put in there to calm them down?
Pot.
Caffeine.
Marijuana.
Caffeine.
They put some pot in there.
Caffeine.
A little bit of ganja. Bee ganja.
Reefer?
Yeah.
No.
Beefer, they call it. That's a special kind of reefer for bees.
It's beefer.
Yeah. It smells like beef.
Wow.
No,
they put caffeine in there.
Beefaroni.
They put like tobacco in there.
So I have a question for you.
What's up?
So I've been thinking about it. Tell me how, if you want to get good at something, how do you get good at something? What's the best way to get good at something?
Depends on the person.
No.
Yes.
Just we need a thing we could say, like almost like scientific, that we could just go boom. Somebody go, how do you get good at something? And this is the answer you give them right there. You just say it.
Study.
Study will make you good at something. Do you think so?
No.
Why did you say it?
I think the best thing that'll make you good at something is practice. But if you don't study first, what are you practicing?
Practice is good. So let's talk about how do you practice? What is practice?
Okay, so let's put
No, I'm kind of being a little silly, but I'm also being serious.
You're being rhetorical.
No, I'm being serious.
Okay.
So I have been thinking about this a lot, and I started doing some research last week about this, and it was like a light that kind of went off in my head, just kind of, and I was like, had that kind of aha moment.
Are you sure that wasn't an aneurysm?
No, not yet. So I just, it kind of woke me up, and I just kind of went, okay. So what is it that you should do if you want to get good at something?
Practice.
I understand the practice, but let's put that in better terms. What would you say?
Practice the thing you want to get good at.
How do you practice?
By doing.
Okay.
But again, if you haven't studied what you're doing and you just jump in, I'm practicing, Mom. I'm practicing.
Studying won't make you good at it. You can study how to fly a plane, but you're not going to fly a plane. And so here's my point. Here's what I'm getting at.
Please, thank you.
And this is something that I guess I've heard throughout my whole life. I've known to a degree throughout my whole life, but I guess it never just really lit up until last week, which is a shame because now my life is almost over.
Yeah, and you're just done.
I'm almost done.
Pretty much.
Whatever you want to get good at, whatever you want to be the best at, do it. This sounds stupid, but it's true. Do it every day. Every day. Do it. So.
But what if I want to be a medical examiner?
You're not going to be good at it until you do it every day. That's why you go to medical school, and that's why you have labs. You have labs so you could do it every day, and they don't turn you loose until you're working with someone and doing it every day. So, I've been thinking, how can I improve my art? What can I do? I know how dumb this sounds, all right? Because I've been an artist my entire life. I'm now 60 years old. 60 mother freaking years old.
That's halfway to 120. So what, does that make you middle-aged?
No one lives to be 120. The oldest person in the world just died and they were 119. No one.
So you're close.
I'm on the other side of middle-aged. No one lives that. I'm not middle-aged anymore. I'm old. I'm officially, I can get a senior discount anywhere I go.
And you refuse.
I refuse to it. I'm not going to get a senior discount at least until I'm 65 and then maybe not. But anyway, so I just started thinking, what do I want to do to get better at art? And I started doing some research. I started thinking about it, and it kind of started with a painter that I was kind of following.
Okay.
And he was saying this very thing. He was like, if you want to get better at art, you have to draw every day. You have to paint every day.
Okay.
And that sounds logical,
right.
Especially if you are an artist. It sounds like people are like, why aren't you doing it every day?
Or
but
writer.
You don't. I'm an artist, and I don't do it every day. A lot of times I don't paint or I don't draw unless someone wants something from me. If they want a painting or if I have to do a painting, then I'll do it. But I don't anymore. I don't just sit down and draw every single day.
There was a time when you did?
I can't even say that that's true. But you think about it. If you want to do anything, if you want to be a better podcaster, do it every day. So my friends at Fun Employment Radio, who I love so much, their podcast is fantastic. I think it's the best podcast in existence.
Except for ours.
Do you know what? No, it's better than ours. Do you know why?
Because they do it every day.
Every day. They're so good at it. They podcast every day, and they're good.
So Monday through Sunday.
I don't know. I think they have some time off, like the weekends. Everybody gets a weekend off. But I know they do other podcasts, so maybe on their weekends off, they're doing those.
Maybe.
It's crazy. So anything that you want to do it every day. If you want to be the best, I don't know what.
Dancer.
Dance every freaking day. Do whatever you want to do.
But what if you're injured and you can't?
Then you're going to, the answer to that is you're going to get worse. It happens. And that's the thing. When I was doing some research, I remember hearing an artist, he says, draw every day. He said, I can skip one day of drawing and I can tell when I've skipped it. And it's true. That's very, very true. And I skip several days and I can tell. You just get rusty. It's just like you'll start drawing and you're like, I thought I was better than this. And it's true because I made a commitment.
I say that every day.
I made a commitment like a week ago. I decided, all right, I'm going to start drawing every day. Even if I don't want to, I'm going to draw every day. And I started doing it and I was like, oh, this is why I don't draw every day, because it sucks. I suck so bad, but I suck because I don't draw every day. So it's that cycle, and you have to do, like, if I want to be a bass player, like I've got my upright bass, I want to learn to be bass. And when I first got it, I made so much improvement because it was brand new. I did it every day. And then, all right, I'm going to skip today. And then, I'll skip 2 days and then 3 days. And I haven't picked it up in months. And that's why I'm not any good at it, because I don't pick it up and work on it anymore. So you have to do something. Whatever you want to be good at, do it every day. Even if it's 10 minutes, 5 minutes, do it every day. And you get better.
Even 5 minutes?
5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15. As long as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, not everybody, because I'm just saying drawing, not everybody can do what they want to do to be good at for a long period of time. So you just do it. So, whatever it is. So
this is clicking with me a little bit. It's resonating with me a little bit.
It did me too, yeah.
When it comes to yoga. Mm-hmm. Because when I start doing a yoga session or whatever, I think a half an hour.
Yeah.
And I get started and I'm beat halfway through.
Yeah.
And then I don't do it again for a while because
Totally.
it sucks, because it hurts. But if I just work on one pose for 10 minutes every single day until I can do that pose and then move to another one.
Yeah. And that's like if I talk about drawing, it's the same way. It's just like draw an eye every day, draw an eye, then draw an ear, then draw a nose. And you just do that over and over and over. And then at some point you put it all together and you're like, whoa, hey, I can draw everything.
And then you have a vinyasa.
But it's the same way with piano. It's just, or guitar. It's just like sit there and play a B flat scale, bum, 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 and do that over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And then maybe work up to a C, and then just next thing you know, you've got all your scales, you're good. You could do it without even thinking.
Yeah.
And it's because you did it every day. Now, you're not going to be able to have that maybe even in a month or two. I mean, you just got to keep doing it over and over and over.
I know I've used this example before, but a friend of mine used to say that she wanted like really good flexibility. And so what she would do is every morning when her alarm would go off, she set it like 5 minutes early than she was supposed to get up. And it would go off and she would slide out of bed and just go into the splits because she wanted to be able to do the full splits.
Yeah.
So she would just slide out of bed and go into the splits. And maybe she's this high off the ground, an inch, a foot, 2 inches, whatever. But she did it every single day. And eventually it just became second nature.
Yeah.
And then she could just like literally fall asleep laying there.
But isn't that what all athletes do? I mean, if you're the greatest football player in the world, let's say let's say Tom Brady.
All right.
Do you think there's a single day that goes by that Tom Brady doesn't hold a football and throw it or do some kind of football thing?
Right.
And if he stops, and let's say he gets involved in something and he takes a week off, I guarantee you, even as good as he is, he's going to be rusty when he picks it back up. Doing it every day is what makes the difference.
Yeah.
And if you could figure whatever, I don't know what people's goal is to what you want to be good at. Especially if it's an art or an arts, something in the arts, language. If you want to speak a language, you learn every day. You do it every day, and it'll make you, even if it's a tiny bit, do it every day.
I can guarantee
That's how you get better.
That you're right with that because I was doing a Duolingo for a language for a while, and I would spend, and I forced myself to do at least 10 minutes a day, and I ended up doing like an hour a day.
Yeah.
And man, after 2 or 3 months, I was good, and I could tell you words, I could listen to words, I knew what they were, and now I haven't touched it in a couple of months, and I'm just like, I think the word was this. Yeah, I have no idea anymore.
So to myself, I've committed to 2 things every day. I'm going to do art every day, draw. I don't care what I'm drawing, I'm going to draw. And it's, again, it sounds so dumb to even say that, a professional artist saying that. But you don't always do that, especially me. Sometimes I go to the gallery and I have other things to do. I have to build a database or make the website or clean my office or whatever, and I don't draw anything that day. And then maybe the next day, same thing. I'm doing something else. But it makes a difference, and you just figure out some time. You just got to take some time, and it doesn't matter if it's your career. If you're a mechanic, you got to figure out something you can do every day, and you do it, and it makes you better. So I'm going to do art. I'm going to draw every day. I'm going to sketch something every day. I'm going to draw every single day, and I'm going to write every day. I'm going to do some poetry. I'm going to do some other. I'm going to write. Those 2 things are the things I want to get better at, and I'm going to do them every day.
All right, I'm going to hold you accountable by making a commitment myself.
Okay.
So my commitment is that every single day, I am going to write every day, even just for 5 minutes.
That's all it takes. Or more. You do it and you start really loving it.
Exactly. Like
Sometimes
I was saying
you'll
with the
hate
language.
it, but other times you'll love it.
Yeah, you'll be like, is it how many minutes?
Yeah.
But then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, because I've been really neglecting this, is I'm going to take a picture every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll get better at it.
Yep.
Do you know why I don't do it?
Why?
Because I can't stand that period of time at the very beginning when you suck. I don't like to suck. I don't like to suck really bad on things.
Most people don't.
And so like when the other day my first day of doing the drawing, I have a skull in my office. Most artists have a skull
right.
in their office.
And those little fun toys too.
Yeah, I didn't actually make the skull. This is a real skull. So it's in my office, and I drew it, and it's horrible. It's awful. But I specifically told myself, I don't care if it's awful. I don't care if it's bad. I'm doing it, and I'm going to keep doing it. So I did it, and then I turned the page.
And just move on.
The next day I did a landscape. It was much better. Turn the page. You just keep doing it. And then I'm working on sketching head constructions or whatever. But it's the same way with pictures. You take a picture, it sucks. It's nothing good about it. Next day, you take another one, do more. And then at some point, you're going to be like, whoa, big difference.
Do you know what I heard? And I don't remember where I heard it, but do you remember, you're probably old enough to. Do you remember Bjorn Borg?
Yeah.
The tennis player?
I think he just went to prison.
Oh, that sucks.
Is it him? No. Who was the redhead guy? Redhead guy.
He was married to a celebrity woman for a while.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't remember, and I don't want to, slander. But
I think it was Bjorn Borg.
No, Bjorn Borg is.
Yeah, I can't think of the redhead guy. Dang it. Anyway, he just got arrested.
Okay, move on.
It surprised me.
Was he the bad boy with the spiky red hair?
No, he didn't have. I don't think he had spiky red hair. No.
Okay. Well, anyways, this may have actually.
Boris Becker.
Okay. There you go. See, you knew it was a BB. So Bjorn Borg.
This podcast sponsored by the letter B.
And the number 7.3. So he said that his success was based on the fact that he could forget everything that just happened. He could forget everything in the past.
Okay. You
miss a shot, forget it. Go for the next one.
Yeah.
You miss 2 shots, forget it. Go for the next one. You didn't even remember that first shot, so why bother?
Yeah.
And just go forward. Just keep moving forward and forget what just happened.
Yeah.
Because if you start focusing on what just happened, you're going to fuck up.
Yeah.
So he said, he had this ability, and it's probably some meditative thing, but he had this ability, and he said he used it in life as well, to just forget.
I wonder if it has anything to do, because this is kind of what I did when I started drawing, was giving yourself the space to screw up.
Yeah.
Because you can come in and go, I have to do this. I'm a professional artist. I've been doing it for years. It's got to be perfect. Mm-hmm. And I purposely said, I know it's going to suck, and I'm going to allow it to suck. I don't care if it sucks. I'm going to do it and then move on to the next one. Because if you go in thinking it's going to be perfect and it's not perfect, just like you said, you will stop doing it.
Yep.
So you got to give yourself room to be bad for a while. Even though it's painful, I don't like it, you got to allow that to happen. And I just wonder if he does that. If he goes to a tennis match and he's like, I'm going to allow myself to make some bad shots. I know I'm going to do it, and I'm just going to allow myself to do it.
And
when it happens, I just go, that's one of them, and then you just move on to the next one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like salt over your shoulder.
Yeah.
Just
and some people,
it.
if you're a perfectionist, you don't do that, because I have that in me.
I'm a perfectionist.
Yeah,
you wouldn't know that about me.
No, it's the same way with me.
Because if I can't do something perfectly, I don't put my whole heart into it.
Right.
And everything I try, I can't do perfectly the first time, because guess what? I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
So I jump in and I'm like, oh, I got this. I can do this perfectly, and it has to be perfect, and I need all this. I shouldn't have gone that far, but for me, I need it to be perfect.
Right.
And
you got to give yourself space to not be perfect.
There's a great line in a newish movie that I love, which is, you have to allow yourself to be at something before you can be good at it.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
And even being at something is part of being good. I was watching a kind of a film of Picasso painting, and whatever you think of Picasso, it wasn't the greatest painting. I was just like, does he look at that and go, this is brilliant? I don't know if he does. It was kind of a scribble, but it didn't seem to bother him. He just did it, and it came out, and that was it. And I think he was just like, the pen is constantly moving. It moves here, and then it stops. And then I move over to here, and it's moving again. And so whatever it moved on there, that's gone. I'm now moving over here. And he just acted like that's what's going on now.
Yeah. And another thing about being a perfectionist is you need to remember that you are never, ever, ever going to be the best at something. Because even if you're the best at something in your lifetime, you're going to die.
Yeah.
And somebody's going to get better at it. And that's fine.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if you're the world's best band. You're only going to be the best band for a while because there's going to be another band come along to be better than you.
And they're probably going to learn from you.
And there's always this new generation that comes along. I'll never forget the first person who said to me, "Who's George Carlin?" And I wanted to punch him. I was just like, "What?" But she did not know who he was.
What, was she 12?
At the time, she was probably her early 20s. Now, this was a long time ago. But it meant nothing to her. He meant nothing to her. And it's going to be the same way with, like, music people, movie people. They don't know who just the same. Whenever I watch the Grammys or if I watch the Academy Award, I don't know who any of these people are.
I don't know either.
Well, that's the same way they feel about our generation. They don't care or know or care who Duran Duran is. I mean, they're like, I think I heard. It's kind of like Grateful Dead. I know Jerry Garcia, Phil Weir.
No,
Mickey.
Bill Weir.
Huh?
Bill.
Phil.
Bill.
Phil.
Bill.
Look it up, mother.
You look it up.
All right. So everybody's going, at the end of this, they're going to be laughing at you. Mickey Hart. Wow, I can't believe I can actually say 3 of the Grateful Dead. Wow, that's all I know. And because the Grateful Dead is not my band at all. I listen to. Let me tell you this. This is such a tangent. We've lost everybody already.
I know.
Do you like Pink Floyd?
I love Pink Floyd.
Why do you like Pink Floyd?
Because of the way the music makes me feel.
Okay, so Pink Floyd showed up on my Facebook wall on something, I don't know what it was. And so I start reading through it, and somebody was just like, I don't care what you think about Pink Floyd. They're never going to be as good as whatever their first album was. And I was like, oh, I've never heard that album. And then I thought, well, actually, I haven't listened to a whole lot of Pink Floyd. I've listened to some, but I don't consider myself a Pink Floyd fan. But I thought, I'd better listen to Pink Floyd. So I go back, and I got the first album, and I'm listening to it. First track I'm listening to, about halfway through, I'm like, okay, I can't handle that. That's shit. And so I click on to the next one. I'm listening. I'm like, no, let's go. And I can't get through the album. I'm like, that's crap. Let's go to the next album. And so I listen to the next album. I'm like, no, that's not for me. And I keep going up. And I went, all right, Dark Side of the Moon. Let's do Dark Side of the Moon. Everybody says it's great.
All day long.
So I go in and I listen to it. Like, no, I don't like it. And I go up the next and I keep doing. And then you get to Money. Doom, 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 ching. And I'm like, okay, that's all right. I can listen to it. But overall, I didn't care for it. And I kept going and I kept going. I didn't like The Wall. I didn't like any of it. And
Sacrilege.
I was like, I don't like Pink Floyd. I'm not and you know what? Do you know what I came to that I liked?
You're surprised I haven't punched you yet.
Do you know what I came to that I liked?
What?
You know the Pink Floyd album, I can't remember the name of it, but I almost said it, that came out in the 80s that had Learning to Fly on it? Mm-hmm. Because that's
a great song.
It was supposed to be a David Gilmour solo album, and then he decided to release it as Floyd. But it's really him. Mm-hmm. And I liked that album. I started listening to it. I was like, that's pretty good. And I really like that song. So I'm not a Pink Floyd fan. I just really came to that point where I'm not a Pink Floyd fan.
Let me give you a little background on me.
And the Floyd?
Me and the Floyd.
Well, okay. You were, anyway, a drug user.
Yes.
And I think that's something that has to happen with Pink Floyd. I think you at least have to smoke a little bee ganja.
But I didn't smoke bee ganja.
Well, you were doing crystal meth.
And acid and other things. But yes, you're right. But I forced my father at the age of, let's see, how old was I then? 12, to sit through the movie The Wall every other night.
Oh, that's torture.
No, it's not. And I listened to that on loop just constantly. That was my like mantra.
I've never seen the film, but
you would like it because it's very artsy. There's a lot of drawing in it.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay. I didn't even realize, and I've probably heard it before, but when I was doing my little Pink Floyd, see, I go through these things where I'm just like, I like to sit and I go, I don't know anything about that music. And then so I'll get into the music. Mm-hmm. I'll do it with rap. I'll do it with, I'll find artists that I didn't know anything about, and I'll get into their catalog, and I'll be like, oh, I like that, or I don't like that. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's kind of healthy. But yeah, I didn't like it.
And that's your prerogative, because I'll be honest with you, there's only one, and I repeat, one Led Zeppelin song that I like.
Yeah, I'm not a Led Zeppelin fan, although I'll listen to Led Zeppelin music and go, that's good. That's good. But it's not good enough for me to like be obsessive about it. And I know some people who are obsessive about it, but I can listen to Zeppelin and go, oh, that's cool. That's good. It's just not my favorite kind of stuff.
You and I have also done this before, but real quick. Mm-hmm. Beatles or Rolling Stones?
That's hard because I'm not a fan of either of them, and I do like pieces of both catalogs. So I like Sgt. Pepper is interesting, and I've heard other Beatles stuff that's interesting. I'm not a big fan of early Beatles where they were just pop. Yeah, I can respect it, but none of that stuff I care that much about. I feel like it's I don't know. It's out of my range. I don't care. Rolling Stones are more approachable to me, but I don't care about them. I don't, maybe their music might be more what I would listen to, but I've listened to Rolling Stone now. Now, there's a couple Rolling Stone albums I just love to listen to.
The whole album.
Let me say that again. A couple of Rolling Stone songs I like to really listen to. But yeah, that's it. I'm just not into either one of them.
All right.
Not a lot of 70s bands I'm into.
Let me ask you another question.
Sure.
Star Trek or Star Wars?
I don't like Star Trek at all. The movies of Star Trek I probably appreciate more than the series. I hated the series. And I still wouldn't watch it.
Are you talking about the original or all of
them?
Yeah,
Captain Kirk and Spock and all. No, the series I don't care for.
You've never watched any other series?
No, other than the classic?
Yeah.
No, I don't even know there was. I don't follow it.
There's like 10.
So Star Wars, I saw the first 3 and that's it. I've never seen another one. I haven't seen any of the contemporary versions, and it's going to go on forever. So there's no way you can watch them all. So I don't really care. It doesn't bother me.
Okay, so you choose Star Wars.
Of the two, I would do Star Wars. Now, I loved Empire. Empire Strikes Back at one point was like my second favorite movie of all times.
Yeah.
And the first one, first Star Wars was a little difficult, and the third one was like a cartoon. I didn't like it at all. The Ewoks kind of ruined it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are complete opposites
there.
Yeah. Because I'm a Beatles Star Trek fan.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Moving on.
We should stop this podcast. We're starting to ramble. Let's come to an end. Let's come to a complete stop.
Talk about the beer.
We got to talk about this beer. First, let's tell people where they can find us. We're on the internet on Facebook. You can follow us on Facebook. Be a part of our Disaster Baiter group. Look it up. It's worth it.
It's super cool.
No one talks to anyone. We never say a word.
It's great for introverts.
Totally. And we are on Twitter. We're on Instagram. And the shows that you're listening to right now, this show you can also listen to on YouTube if you want.
And supposedly, you can find our shows on our website.
Yeah, I've got to update the website.
ThisEpicDisaster.com.
I'm so far behind. Don't try it.
Okay, don't do it, because the last show you'll find is April. But if you've never listened before,
that far back?
Yeah,
wow.
April 5th. But if you've never listened before, you could start there, and then move on. But what we'd like you to do is we'd like you to actually download and subscribe, and then give us a rating. It could be a crap rating, but we'd prefer not. We really like the good ratings, clearly. You can also find us, like he said, at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, but you can email us directly at thisepicdisaster@gmail.com.
Yeah, and just say hi. Especially if you're new, we'd like to know you're out there.
If it's just a hi, great.
And if you want a sticker, we'll send you a free sticker. All right, that's all the little stuff we got to talk about. Now, talk about the beer.
Yours is gone.
Mine's gone. You're barely halfway. You're a little more than halfway through yours.
But I also have a cocktail with me.
You have a cocktail with you.
So just because I'm thirsty, I've been drinking both.
Oh, no.
And, yeah.
Okay.
But it's a good beer.
Yeah, it is.
I like it. And I tell you what, I'm almost down to the quarter, and it's not too sweet yet.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, too. What do you think? If you're going to give it a rating, 5 stars, what do you say?
1 out of 5, I would give it I would buy this. I'd give it a 4.
You're giving it a 4. I'm giving it a 5.
Wow.
I'm going all the way to the top. I really like this beer. I will say that I've rated some beers 5 that I liked a little more than this one. So I like this beer. I like it in between a 4.5 and a 5.
And you refuse to do quarters.
I don't go in between. And so when I think about it, it's like I like it a little more than a 4.5. Maybe not quite as much as a 5. It's not fair to give it a 4.5, but still not fair to go all the way. But I'm going to go all the way.
But you're going to round up.
Because I really liked it. I drank every bit of it, and it's my kind of beer. So, hey, what the heck? I'm giving it a 5.
Do it to it.
I did it to it.
All right.
All right, so that's it. We're stopping. We're done.
It's over.
You can find us every Monday. We do a new show. And Brad Pitt, thank you for listening. We're glad that you're a fan. Please pop in on the next Zoom.
We would love to see you.
Yeah, we would. Okay, that it?
That's it.
I'm not using verbs anymore. That it?
That it.
All right, we'll see you next Monday.
Bye.
Bye.
This is a Violet Jester Media podcast.